name is William. I go by Bill Sterner. Well, I always considered Southwestern to be my home since I was in the first graduating class. Had an opportunity to be a senior for 2 years. And I've lived in the Hanover area all my life, mostly. The only time I wasn't there was when I went to college. I'm really happy with Southwestern School District. Originally, I was not going to go to college. I was going to work at my father's farm. But then we had to sell the farm, so the best decision I ever made in my life was to become a teacher. That led to me being able to teach and coach, and it's been a great career. I would say 7th and 9th grade, consider teaching as a profession. Coaching is a great sideline to that, and the both of them go hand in hand. And I'd say as a senior, you got a lot of opportunities out there. There is a demand for good teachers, so consider it.
What does it mean to you to be an alumni of Southwestern?
I loved Southwestern. It was such a great experience. I was excited to come back. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was a great experience. I had so many good teachers. I had so many good coaches. I had so many good friends.
Can you describe your path to success?
I was an athlete my whole life, and so that was kind of my path at first. And then my parents were always like, it doesn't matter if you're a good athlete, you have to be really good at school. I got injured, and I couldn't swim anymore. And that was like my college dreams were crushed a little bit. At that point, I kind of was a little sad that I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to go to college. And my mom was like, you're going, I'm going to force you. Then I went to college. Then I got a job at Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, and I did toxicology there for the racetracks. And then I got a job in cancer research, and I loved it. And then my dad had a dental practice down the street, and he passed away, so I worked in his office. And I loved it so much that I decided I wanted to be a dentist. From dental school, I went to Penn, and then I went into Southern California. I did a residency at USC, and then I did another residency in Nevada. So I got to work at a VA hospital, I got to work in a trauma hospital, I got to all these cool experiences. And then I decided I was gonna be an orthodontist, and I went to Vegas and lived in Vegas in residency. I became an orthodontist. Lived in Dallas, Texas for a few years, then bought a practice in San Diego, California. And from there, I've just I started doing volunteer work. I always did volunteer work with my dad. It was always major. I am in charge of like 1,000 volunteers in San Diego, and we do volunteer throughout. For the poor, we do foster youth. Yeah, so I love it. I get to do a ton of stuff that I never thought I was gonna ever do.
What advice would you give to a 7th through 9th grader? What advice would you give to a senior?
7th or 9th grade, I would say just enjoy it. And if you're struggling in something, no matter what it is, whether it's a subject, you just let someone know and then you get help. So I think it was like when I wasn't good at something, I just like told someone, and then I got a tutor, and then I was like, okay. Like, you don't have to be good at everything. I think a big thing is the like bullying or getting depressed or something like that. You just have to realize how lucky you are. Like, you're alive, you don't have cancer. You can, you have clothes, you live in a great place. I think that's the most important, is just realizing that everybody's going through something, everyone's struggling. As far as a senior, I think just realizing that there's something else out there, and you may not want to go to college, but all you got to do is just go do something, and you don't have to go to college. There's all sorts of things to do besides that. But so I think if you're like debating it or you're not sure about something, you just go for it. You just throw caution to the wind, and so you don't have to be an A student. You just have to have a great personality and be super nice, and you'll get through life no matter what you do. So yeah, I think that's the most important thing.
My name is Mary Tracy. I'm George Tracy's wife.
What does it mean to George to be an alumni of Southwestern?
I know my husband's very proud to be an alumni of Southwest because we met in high school. Of course, this was my high school. Eichelberger and Southwest were kind of rivals. So we put up that for a while, but Southwest was always #1, and all 4 of our children went there.
Can you describe George's path to success?
George's father was also a bird dog trainer, and George grew up in the business. He just always wanted to be a dog trainer, and it was a passion of his, and he loves animals and horses.
What advice would you give to a 7th through 9th grader? What advice would you give to a senior?
7th to 9th grade. First of all, I think you have to enjoy your experiences in school. In high school, you gotta, I think, be a little more serious about what you want to do and where you want to go. A little more in your studies. That's probably a parent saying that.